This is looking directly towards the altar, and you can see that the altar is designed to resemble the offering plate which is used in Buddhist temples here in Thailand. So it's exactly the same. Normally these are little plates that people carry and they'll put fruit and other offerings on there, and above that we obviously have the cross. And above that, we have a depiction of Christ's ascension to heaven. So it's all beautifully painted. There's obviously the crucifix just there. Now, it's been raining today, so I've got my clothes drying, so forgive me for that. But we'll come around here because on this wall, on the right-hand side of the altar, you can see that we've got three wise men proceeding to hear the good news, or having heard the good news, they're on their way to the manger. And there's the Holy Spirit above the manger. And we've got some angels loitering in some trees, some Thai-style angels. And then there is the manger with the birth of Jesus. And so let's proceed. By the way, these windows, they're these huge wooden windows, and there's no glass in the windows. You just open those doors and it's open to the elements. So let's wander down there. That's a view of the church there. And here we have another scene which is very good. This is the scene where Jesus is being baptized by John the Baptist, and we can see that there is the dove above Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is coming upon him there. And we can carry on round, and we've got all sorts of depictions of Thai life, and we've got some images of Jesus. I think he's performing a miracle there. And then further up, we've got another image of Jesus there chatting to some folk in a village, sitting down and they're eating. So we'll carry on. There's a depiction here. I think this is where Jesus tells the fishermen to cast their nets on the other side of the boat. And if we go down, we can see that there's a Thai-style house. You can see it's on stilts, which is very traditional in Thailand, so that the house is not affected by the floods, which are common here. And then there's a depiction of the basilica in the Vatican there with all the cardinals, and we can carry on. And now what we're doing is we're looking at as a depiction of people studying. I think these are the benefits of the church and the benefits of education. We've got some people laying prostrate in front of the altar there. And if we carry on around, that's a nice Thai-style boat above the front door. And if I do a turn around, and you can see, because this is a chapel of the Redemptorists, this is there's a little altar there for Mary, Mother of God, and we'll carry on over here, and you can see that there's a person being offered some robes, which is similar to what happens in the Buddhist temples. People will make merit by giving some robes. So it looks like there's a priest there being offered a new alb, and somebody there, looks like an ordinand, is maybe studying and being ordained maybe. Now, if we carry on, we can see a whole load of Thai people here, and they're laying around. They've all got full bellies. Lots of them are showing each other how fat they are. And the reason why is because further up we can see that they're all eating, and the reason they're all eating is because Jesus has just fed them with fish and bread. And so I think that's the feeding of the 5,000. further up, you can see Jesus is on a small hill talking to everyone. So I think probably that's the Sermon on the Mount. Now, if we carry on further round, and we've got some people preparing the wood that is going to be used for Jesus' cross later. So I'm not sure which part of the sermon this is, but I think this is probably where somebody's being confronted and either denying knowledge of Jesus, or maybe there's a deal being struck where somebody could be given Judas could be given the 30 pieces of silver. Either way, I'm not sure where that is, but this is the last one here. Jesus is now on trial, and obviously lots of people are condemning him. They're waving their hands, and his hands are tied. And then further on, it starts the Passion proper, and we can see Jesus is being whipped and walking along, and it's a bit grainy here because it's very dark. The lights are on, but it's not too light, not too bright. We can see Jesus now has fallen, carrying his cross, and we'll carry on now. We're at the very back of the chapel now, and there are some stained glass windows which depict some Thai-style angels. I'll turn around and show you that in a moment, but we'll continue looking at these paintings. So we can see Jesus here, still carrying his cross, being beaten and treated very badly. And very soon you can see that this is where Jesus is being derobed, his cross is being prepared, and not long after that, we don't actually see an image of Jesus on the cross, apart from here. Well, there you are. So he's being nailed to the cross just here. And there's obviously 3 crosses. One of the thieves is up on the cross. Jesus is being put on the cross. And we come down here, and Jesus has been taken off of the cross, and is later then put into a tomb with a big round stone ready to be rolled across. So we'll come round the corner, and we can see here Jesus showing himself to Mary Magdalene, I suppose, and a couple of other people. And he's with 2 other prophets. So going on now, I think this is where he shows himself. There we are. And beyond that, it's now all Thai style. So we've got some sheep farmers, some farmers there with some sheep. We've got some people here, somebody being carried on the back of a bullock and a buffalo, and somebody's very sick at home. And they're outside the church. But inside the church, this is the depiction of inside the church, and all of the homes, you can see, have little icons of Mary in their homes. And life is very orderly inside the church, whereas outside it's not. This is that little altar for Mary. And we're back into the very centre of the chapel now, so I can turn around and show you where we've been. That's where we've been. And we'll carry on round until we get to the very far end on this side. So we're inside the church, people are being trained and educated, sick people are being cared for. And then we come to outside the church again, and really it's a picture of debauchery. There are men being fed by 2 or 3 ladies. There are dancing ladies there. There are people gambling. There are people playing music and eating too much. There's even somebody vomiting into a lake somewhere. So, there's chaos, in fact. Further up, we can see there's horses defecating, and everyone's having a bad old time of it, really. Later on, we come round here and we can see in a temple, and we can see Jesus there. And I think probably this may well be where Jesus said, actually, you can't have the temple like a market, and he turned the tables over. So we're back to the gospel again. Over here, we've got more Thai life. So that's the upside down cages where people keep chickens. And finally, back over into this corner of the chapel, and we've got this group of people in a little home church praying, and you can see they've all, their heads have got these little flames above them with the Holy Spirit there. And we've got people praying as well, and crying and lamenting. I think maybe somebody's died. So that's it, really. That's the chapel. I'll turn you around slowly, and I'll walk back to the middle of the chapel before turning again and showing you back the altarpiece. I mean, that's it, really. This is our front door. That's where we come in. I mean, it's such a beautiful little chapel, and I thought you might like to see that. There you are. So that's the altar in all its glory. And even the ceiling, I want to show you the ceiling, because even that is quite beautiful. And all of the pillars are encrusted with little pieces of glass, things like that. So, I mean, they've spared no expense in making this a really beautiful place to worship. It's all really in the style of a Buddhist temple. So Buddhist temples locally look the same. And I'm going to go outside now and just show you the outside, because that's equally beautiful and decorated. So here we are outside, up, made into little flowers, and they've been decorated with glass and mirrors. And the windows there have these big overhangs so the rain doesn't come in. And then what I'm going to do is just take a little walk, not too far, just down the steps. We've got some horribly slippery steps here, and I just want you to see the chapel from further back, and then you get a good idea of where we are and where we worship. So it's quite beautiful, but even there, that's been decorated with bowls and plates, and beautiful. I think it's a very beautiful little building. There we are. Okay, well, we'll see you inside. We're having our Eucharist very soon, so come back and see you again. Bye-bye.